Good morning, 8th grade math ELT and geometry ELT. First part of ELT is you are getting some practice writing down your ordered pairs. So you have about 5 graphs. For each graph, for each letter, you need to write the ordered pair. So for example, for M, it's negative 12, and then I go up 15. So this would be negative 12, comma 15. It's 12 spaces to the left, and then 15 up. So you do that for all the letters on all the graphs. Then you have to write rules to describe each transformation. So, a couple different transformations you now know. Translations, where I add or subtract to move my figure. You have reflections over the x-axis, where x stays the same and y changes. You also have seen reflections over the y-axis, where x changes and y stays the same. And then you have some rotations. For rotations, counterclockwise and clockwise. So for 90 degrees counterclockwise, 270 degrees clockwise, the rule is negative yx. For 270 degrees counterclockwise or 90 degrees clockwise, the rule would be y negative x. And then 180 degrees rotation would be negative x comma negative y. So when I look at number 6 right here, I notice that here's I prime. Here's k, here's k prime. Oh, this figure has literally just been flipped over the x-axis. So it's been flipped, yet every point is right across from each other. So this is definitely a reflection over the x-axis. And if it's a reflection over the x-axis, I know my x stays the same and my y changes. So your rule would be x comma negative y. And a way to prove that is look at your point. So I look at h, I look at h prime. H and h prime. H would be 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5, negative 1. H prime is negative 5, positive 1. So my x stays the same. My y takes the opposite sign. That's why that's the rule. Looking at this one right here, this shape is exactly in the same position. It's exactly the same size as this shape. I just moved it up and over. So to figure out how much you have translated this image, look at point F and then look at point F prime. So again, this is an example of a translation. F was negative 2, positive 1. F prime is 2, 1, 2, 3. So for my x, I was here, and to get to here, I went over 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I went over 4 times to the right. So that would be x plus 4, comma, I had to go up on my y-axis 1, 2. So for my y, I would add 2, and this would be the rule. For this one, I have this shape and this shape. This should be a reflection because all the points are directly opposite. So look at your reflection example for that one. For this one, guys, this would be an example of a rotation. So I'm starting here and I'm going here. This is my original shape, this is my new shape. So this is a rotation. This would be a 90-degree rotation if it was here. Since it's here, it's a 180-degree rotation. I'm moving clockwise, but also if I thought it was a counterclockwise rotation, it would still be 90, 180 degrees. That's why for 180 degrees, the rule is negative x, comma, negative y. when you get to the next page, you're actually performing some reflections and translations. So just make sure if I'm reflecting across the y-axis, I'm moving it over here. If I'm reflecting across the x-axis, I'm moving it below. And then, guys, you're solving some equations. So this is just an example. So, guys, I told you that I'm going to push you to achieve at higher levels. So this is, for 8th grade math, this is something you'll see in high school, but there's no reason why we can't just practice now. So what we don't like about this equation as mathematicians, it's very long. So what we have to do is something in math called combine like terms to make it as short as possible. So I do this with each part of the equation separately. So I look at my left side of the equation. I have a negative k plus 7k. These are like terms because they both have a k. It's like kites. This would be like, I lost a kite, I had 7 kites. Okay, now I have 6 kites. So negative k plus 7k is 6k. Equals, okay, look at my right side. I only have 1k, but I have a 6, a 5, and a 14. We can just add those together to get k plus 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 plus 14 is 25. So then when I get to this step, I can just solve like I know. I would move my variable to one side by subtracting k, and I get 5k equals 25. And I divide by 5, k equals 5. After you do that, you're going to get some practice with your angle pairs. Remember, for your angle pairs, make your x's and, you know that song, oopsie, x's and o's.